next section, please turn in your participant handout to page 3. The problem that is at the top of that page is also displayed here on the board. Take a minute to read that problem silently to yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and move to my document camera so that we can work together through this. I have my whiteboard here. So let's read this entire problem together.
Okay.
There are 3/4 as many boys as girls in a class of 5th graders. If there are 35 students in the class, how many are girls? So let's start by reading it one chunk at a time. There are 3/4 as many boys as girls in a class of 5th graders. Can I draw something? What can I draw?
A tape diagram.
Okay, so let's start with a tape diagram, and that will represent my boys. Turn and talk to your partner about how we know that the tape diagram for the girls will be larger than the boys. Tell me your thinking.
Well, when I first read it, I thought 3/4 as many boys sounds like there'd be more boys than girls.
So you think there might be more boys than girls? And
I'm not
anyone
sure.
else?
I'm not sure.
As many says that there's going to be more girls.
So you think there's more girls?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a moment to step out of the problem, and we're going to scaffold this so that it'll help it to make sense. So I'm going to draw a squiggly line here on my whiteboard so that you know this is where my workspace is to scaffold it. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start by drawing out my boys. And if I make this be my girls, can you tell me how many boys there are here? Turn and talk to a partner compared to how many girls. And I need to be a little more precise in my drawing. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Up there, it looks like there's half.
Yeah, it looks like there's half.
So who can share what they're thinking?
We're looking up there, it looks like there's half as.
So here you see that there are half as many boys as there are girls. So now let's say that I go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and erase that part there, and I double my girls. And I'm making that, again, I'm trying to be a little more precise. And now, how many boys are there compared to how many girls? Turn and talk to your partner, please.
1/4.
So there are how many?
1/4. It looks like.
So there are 1/4 as many boys as there are girls. So if I triple the size of my boys now, how many boys are there compared to how many girls?
So now
Now I see it.
3/4.
3/4.
Oh, so now we see what?
The 3/4 boys.
That there are 3/4 as many boys as girls.
Nice.
So let's go back and read that first chunk again, okay? So it says there are 3/4 as many boys as girls in a class of 5th graders. So does this tape diagram here correctly model what we just read?
Now it does.
And I
Yes.
can see it too.
And you see it, yes. So now what do we need to do up here? What do we need to come up here and draw? We're done with down here where we have been doing our scaffold so that we would understand that. What do we need to draw up here back at our original problem? Who can help me? What should I do? We want it to look like this, so what can we do?
Add 2 more boxes.
Add 2 more boxes to the boys? Okay. And then what do I need to draw for my girls?
4 boxes.
Okay, but tell me when to stop drawing so that it shows the right representation. Can you do that?
I think so.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close.
And that's the thing. It is close. Yeah, you're right. It's a tiny bit long. So I'm just going to fix this here to make it look a little bit more precise.
We didn't say stop.
That's okay. We're good here. And what is this now?
Girls.
This is my girls. So now have we correctly labeled that first chunk? There are 3/4 as many boys as girls in a class of 5th graders.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's read the next chunk.
Okay.
If there are 35 students in the class, how many are girls? So now what do I know? I know that what do these pieces represent?
There's 7 parts.
There are 7 parts, and how many do I have total?
35.
So I have a total of 35 students.
Right.
Can everybody still see this up here on the board? Okay, there are 35 students.
Mhm.
So, Robin, you said you knew that you had a total of how many parts?
7.
So I have 7 parts. So I know that there are 7 units. And my 7 units equals how many?
35.
35. And so I need to find out how much 1 unit equals.
So
Turn and talk to a partner. And how do I know what 1 unit is equal to?
Divide the units by the total.
So I say that?
Divide the
divided.
units by the total.
Does anybody have a different thought? How would you write this? 1 unit equals
5,
5.
5?
Right.
right? If I divide it.
Right, if you divide it.
Okay.
So would you put 35 divided
Oh,
by,
Seven.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, equals that 5?
Yeah.
Yes. So 1 unit equals
Okay.
5.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to find out? Turn and talk to your partner. What is the question asking me? Go back to that question. And what does it ask us to find out?
How
How many
many
How
girls?
many
girls?
are girls? So we just.
So
So
we
then
would
you do
have
4
So each one
times.
is 5.
Well, we would
5
put
times 4.
just count by 5.
So we could skip count by 5.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we do?
Multiply 4 times.
So you
5.
could do 4 times 5. So I now know that 4 units equals what?
20.
20. Finish this out, making sure that you have a complete statement showing your answer. Write your statement. Is your marker not working?
That's
There you
okay.
go. You got it?
I'll just do them too.
And who will share out their statement?
I can share.
Yes.
It says, there are 20 girls in the 5th grade class.
So, did anybody have a different answer? So, let's talk about this for a minute. Looking at this tape diagram, tell me what the tape diagram did for you.
Have me visually see the parts of the class and break it down.
So it helped you to visually see. Does somebody else have anything else to add to that?
Well, like I said in the beginning, I was thinking that there were more boys than girls until we started drawing this. Then I understood that the 3/4 as many boys as girls meant this picture. So without this picture, I would have been lost.
Without this picture
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
But what part helped you to
This
understand?
I was going to say, as soon as you did the
Yeah.
1/2, I think that's easier for students to understand because they're really familiar with 1/2.
Yes.
And then they could see through it.
Right.
You know, they could say,
So when
okay,
we
wait a minute,
started
this is
down-
1/2, and then I need
That's when we
3/4.
started understanding.
Standing
Right,
it.
down the
Was
bottom.
when we had the boys and we
Yeah.
had the girls.
Then
and
you
we
saw
knew-
where you were going
Well,
with
then
it.
seeing the 7 parts too, because I was like, well,
Yes.
how am I gonna figure out how many girls in
Exactly.
35? And now that when she said the 7 parts, and I was like, oh, they're each.
Okay,
part.
so you heard your partner say 7
Yes,
parts.
because that made it click. Because I was like, I still don't know how to get the girls,
Mhm.
but when she said the 7 parts, I was like, oh, that makes
So what does a tape diagram do for us?
Gives
Helps
you a
us to
visual.
visualize
It gives you the visual,
and break the problem down into pieces
right?
so that we can put it together to understand it.
So sometimes when this problem seemed to be a tiny bit, and if you notice on your page, it tells you that this is a 5th grade problem, and I know you guys are K-2 teachers, so that made you have to do just a tiny bit of a stretch. And that makes us have to think, okay, you know, I see fractions. Ooh, wait a minute, fractions sometimes scare me. And so, but this problem was very easily done because we used a tool that we use a lot, and that is that tape diagram. And that when we can represent that and draw that, then we are able to see exactly how we can get the answer to that problem.
It did help.
Does anyone else have any other questions?